Why hit a refugee camp multiple times?
Multiple strikes hit apartment blocks in Jabalia refugee camp.
There's been another strike, another bombing there.
This man says, "Oh God, my 3 children are gone, 3 kids. I hope I can find one alive."
The Israeli army says the Jabalia refugee camp is a critical strategic target, a hotbed of Hamas operations. But it's also a hub of civilian life, where thousands of displaced people have been retreating to and building homes and lives for decades. It also has a very complex history. Of the 8 refugee camps in Gaza, Jabalia is the biggest. It's not exactly what might come to mind when you hear the words refugee camp. These aren't tents in the middle of nowhere. It's a city. More than 100,000 refugees are registered in Jabalia, and the actual number of people living there may be much higher.
The Jabalia refugee camp is the most densely populated area of the Gaza Strip. So that kind of gives a sense of how crowded the place is.
Jabalia camp is in Gaza's north, not far from the Erez crossing into Israel. They're squeezed into an area that's just 1.4 square kilometers, where there's almost no open space. It's cramped apartment buildings, shops, and markets connected by streets that are oftentimes too narrow to even drive a car down.
If you look at an aerial view of this refugee camp, you can see how tightly packed those buildings are. They're tall buildings, but they're jammed into that space.
Everything's built close together, and in many cases, according to the UN, people have to add extra floors to their shelters to accommodate their families. And a huge portion of the people living there were dependent on international aid even before the war began. The UN operated 26 schools on double shifts in Jabalia, 2 health centers and a third one nearby, social services, a public library, a food distribution center, water wells.
Food items, any medicines, any items that any of us take for granted that we're able to go and buy at our local supermarkets. That is not a luxury that the people of Gaza in Jabalia or elsewhere I've had for the past 16 years.
Power cuts are routine, clean water is scarce, and unemployment is another big problem. It sits at around 45% for all of Gaza. But despite this camp's hardships, Jabalia has been a strategic focal point, not just in this war, but in many wars past, thanks to its people, its geography, and the value placed on it by Hamas.
So if you look at where the camp is, it is in the north of Gaza. It is the biggest camp very close to Israel's southern border. So if you're launching short-range missiles, that is an ideal place, of course, to launch them from. They have longer reach, you get less warning.
The Israel Defense Forces have hit Jabalia multiple times in just the last few weeks. The IDF has been very clear. It says in all cases, its goal is to strike Hamas military targets.
It provides some of the best places for fighters to hide, for missile emplacements, and for the building of underground infrastructure, precisely because it's so dense.
But a strike on such a heavily populated area inevitably kills many.
But the blast also killed and wounded hundreds of civilians.
The IDF now calls the camp a combat area, not only confirming the strikes, but releasing video. Now, we weren't able to independently verify the location or the date this video was shot, but the IDF claims it's an aerial shot of its most recent strike on the Jabalia camp.
They say that they successfully targeted a senior Hamas military leader who was responsible for one of the commando units involved in the massacre inside of Israel on October 7th.
And here's the thing. the camp has been a target for years, for decades, even before Hamas took power. The Jabalia camp has a long, complicated political history. It was in Jabalia that a series of violent protests by Palestinians against their Israeli occupiers broke out in 1987. The flashpoint, an Israeli army truck crashing into a civilian car, killing 4 Palestinians inside. What followed became known as the First Intifada, the first uprising. This video is from an Al Jazeera documentary marking 30 years since those events took place.
This is the spot in Jabalia refugee camp where the First Intifada started 30 years ago. An Israeli patrol here was surrounded by hundreds of teenage boys, and the soldiers ran for cover into these buildings here.
Years of simmering frustrations boiled over. Israel would deploy nearly 100,000 soldiers. Palestinian resistance was intense.
The protests evolved from boys throwing rocks and people marching to fighters attacking Israeli soldiers and military targets. The group Hamas stepped in as well, saying armed resistance was the only effective resistance to Israeli occupation.
Now, I can't do any reasonable job in such a short time of explaining the nuances of how both sides got to this point. But just know that the fighting spread not just through the Gaza Strip, but also through Jerusalem and the West Bank. The fighting would last 6 years, with Jabalia as ground zero.
The Palestinians have often clashed with their Israeli occupiers before, but the violence has never been as widespread.
Very similar kind of process went on in the Second Intifada, which was a much more violent one. So this refugee camp has played a large role in contemporary Palestinian history. The memories have passed through the generations.
Which brings us to today, and the assertion from the Israeli government that Jabalia is a Hamas stronghold. The IDF says Hamas is the justification it needs to bomb key targets in the area, and that it warned about 1 million people across the entire northern half of Gaza to flee south.
But you know that there are a lot of refugees, a lot of innocent civilians, men, women, and children in that refugee camp as well, right?
This is the tragedy of war, Wolf. I mean, as you know, we've been saying for days, move south. Civilians that are not involved with Hamas, please move south.
But aid groups and many Palestinians themselves say an evacuation on that scale is impossible. And similar attacks have happened repeatedly throughout history. Israel drew international condemnation in 2009 and again in 2014 when the UN accused it of hitting local schools in the Jabalia camp with airstrikes, killing dozens.
Shells landing at a UN school packed with Palestinians there to shelter from violence.
All available evidence points to Israeli artillery as the cause. Nothing is more shameful than attacking sleeping children.
In both cases, Israel responded by saying Hamas and its allies were launching rockets from inside the camp, and it accused them of using civilians as human shields, something we've heard repeatedly throughout this war.
The human shield idea is not literal in that they're not standing humans in front of them as soldiers are shooting at them. It's more a metaphor for using civilian populations as cover for militant operations underground or in other areas, particularly in Gaza, underground.
What is clear is that the loss of life is immense. The destruction is, too, as you can see in these satellite images from before and after the most recent strikes. The international community has, once again, as it has through the years, condemned the killing of civilians.
You cannot fire into a crowd when you're seeking to nail one individual there. That alone is taking a huge risk. Civilian lives must be protected. That's an obligation that all member states signed up to.
What does the right to self-defense mean? when you have militants hiding among civilian populations, and what's proportional? It's a very, very difficult question. People of integrity disagree on the answer.
The demand from many of those watching the horror unfold from afar is for a ceasefire. But Israel says it's not stopping now. So while civilians in Jabalia have spent not just weeks or years, but decades in the crossfire, it's also true that nothing compares to the scale and devastation of these most recent strikes. This is something entirely new.